Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to League Racing TV here for round number 5 of the TML Formula 2 Championship as we take in the circuit Paul Ricard for the French Grand Prix. I am Mike going to be taking you through the action as always on a Friday night. Fortunately, no James alongside me tonight as he is doing some fantastic work with WOR for tonight once again. So it is me on my own, but I promise to bring you the action as best of my abilities. And we have a full 20-man grid here in qualifying, and that is going to be a fantastic event to see. Of course, last night in F1, if you missed out on the action, please make sure to go back and check on all the previous races in the League Racing TV catalogue for season 9 because it has absolutely been fantastic. Last night was a cracker in F1. First man out on track, it is going to be Jamie, so we'll stay on board with him as we get the full track map and everything up, and we shall look at the track in question. Circuit Paul Ricard, 5.8 kilometers in length, 15 grueling corners, including some very good overtaking opportunities down in towards turn 1 with the help of DRS, and of course you can have a little lunge, little look into turn 3, but of course the main one down into the chicane Nord into turn 8 and 9, also with the help of DRS. If you get good traction out of turn 9, you can have a nice little look around the outside or down the inside of turn 10, as Jamie is actually approaching turn 10 right now, so we shall stay on board with him and he'll show you the corner in which I'm talking about. And of course it is only 12, a difficult corner, especially on those curves. You can definitely get caught out and maybe have a little bit of a spin as we look at turn 14, the penultimate corner, and turn 15, the final corner, where you could see a few lunges down the inside there if someone is close enough in behind. But going on board now with Jamie for the first flying lap of the session. DRS wide open on the run down in towards turn number 1, over 200 miles an hour as we break down into 5th gear, short shifting up into 6th, and Jamie keeping it all valid there. Going through turn number 2 now into turn 3, takes a decent amount of the inside curb for turn 3 and 4, and through turn 5, got to keep it all valid, and he is all valid right now as we go through turn number 6 and through turn 7. As that is not a good thing that we like to see, where the notification pops up saying the internet connection might not be good enough for streaming, but everything looks okay on stream, so we are going to persevere as we go into the chicane Nord as we go through turns 8 and 9. All about the traction out of this corner now to maximise your run all the way down in towards turn number 11. 50.4 in the middle sector from Jamie as he goes through turn number 10 now into turn number 11. Jamie able to hook it up, not drift out too far wide because you can pick up the validation there. Now we go into the infamous turn 12 where a curb can be a little bit dicey as we go through the penultimate corner now for Jamie into the final corner. Let's see what this is going to be. This is going to be the benchmark time from the Ferrari. It's Jamie to the line. What's it going to be to start us off? It's going to be a 31.3 there from Jamie. So a good benchmark time to be put on the board. I think we saw a Haas go around. I think that is Evil Chris, but I'm going to go on board with this man, Dylan McGivern, who is on a lap as well. Of course, if you guys did miss last week's action, I can run you through the results from last week as I do have everything all set up lovely and we're to go. So last week's action in Austria, we saw Jelle Gleeson come out on top with Johan in second and Legend taking that final podium position. Dylan, this man, was on for a fantastic result. I believe at one point he was on for a win. No one around him to really put him under pressure, and he lost it under his own fruition and ended up coming home in 11th with the fastest lap. So what has that done to the championship? Well, I'll tell you what that's done to the championship. Jelle Gleeson leads the way on 116 points with Dan in second place on 93 points, Siege in third on 82, Then we have Legend in 4th on 67. Real Powdy on 51 with Dylan McGivern also on 51. So a close battle between those two as he pops up into second place here in qualifying. Right behind Dan, who's a 10th ahead. And it's a good benchmark there from Dan, looking to get himself back up onto the back of Yellow Geeson in this championship battle. Jamie in 7th place on 49 points, so he's in the mix as well, with Yaham in 8th on 40 points, Evil Chris on 40 points, and Great Elmo on 40 points. So we got 3 people all on 40 points apiece, and it's getting spicy, guys. It's getting spicy. 28 points for Ronnie on 11th, Ghost on 27 points, Charlie on 24 points in 13th, along with Roygard, who's also on 24 points, and Kiki on 24 points in 13th, 14th and 15th respectively. Sygate on 21 points in 16th. Then we got FRL Charlie as a reserve. We'll see, he picked up 13 points as a reserve, but he is now in that full-time Mercedes seat. Atlas Copo on 10 points, Maze on 10 points, who's no longer competing in the series. And we've got Preb, who is a reserve, currently racing in the Alpha Aston Martin here tonight. He's on 6 points. Smitsky, who is not racing here tonight, he is on 5 points. Stevie on 5 points as well. And the only people who haven't got a point so far is Daimailed, Giles, Yanzu and Ivan Tonsek. And of course Ivan is here tonight. I did see his name pop up in the lobby, and yeah, he is. He's in the Ferrari. And Atlas Copo up into 6th place on his opening lap. So good going from him. We're going to jump on board with Legend, who is on a flying lap. So let's jump on board with him and let's see what he does as he is approaching the middle sector split. We're looking for a good sector split, and that is a little bit off of what Jamie was doing, if I remember correctly. So he is a couple of times down, but there's still plenty of time in this qualifying session to pull it back. Just over 10 minutes to go here in qualifying. So that is what is going on in the championship. Currently out on top in qualifying, it is LRE Dan, who is currently second in the championship. Dylan looking to make up for last week's mishaps, currently on the front row. But he has set the exact same time as Real Powdy. So these two, very, like, you can't split them. You legit can't split them. Identical times from Dylan and Powdy. Yaham, when will it go right for the McLaren? That is the question. And speaking of the McLaren, let's have a look at the Constructors' Championship. In fact, we're going to stay on board with Yaham for his flying lap as I look at the Constructors' Championships. Constructors' Championships are as follow. Mercedes leading the way on 290 points. Williams in second on 231 points. Then in third we have the Alpha Tauris on 212. 182 for the Alpines in fourth. Ferrari on 169. 156 for the Alfa Romeos down in sixth. 147 for the Haas team. McLaren on 145, Red Bull on 128, and Aston Martin on 110. I don't know if this is completely accurate in terms of everything, but we have to wait and see. I think the standings might be a little bit off, especially in the constructors setup. But we got Yaham as his teammate there, loses it right in front of him. So Powdy there getting a little bit too much onto the curb and loses his car. But Yaham is about a 10th up, and that is enough to get him onto the front row. He needs a bit more in this final sector if he wants to put himself on provisional pole position here. as he comes through turn number 11, now into turn 12. A little bit of a bite under brake in there from the McLaren as we go through turn 13 and now into 14. A little bit off-putting with the car there on the outside, but shouldn't have compromised this lap too much, as DRS is wide open now to the line. He will go, and it is going to be a 30.5. Puts himself onto provisional pole position, and Dan is out on a lap. Well, he is on an invalid lap. I'm not sure if he's on an out lap. Possibly it could be. That is what I'm going to say. But Dylan is around half a tenth up in the middle sector. Had a bit of a slipstream from his teammate Jelle Gleeson. I believe it would be the Williams that would be leading the constructors. So I believe with Dylan and Jelle Gleeson's points added up, it is more than the other teams and a lot less than what it was stated on the standings. But Dylan goes up onto the front row, unable to get ahead of Yaham, but he is ahead of Dan, who is also on a lap. So we'll stick on board with Dan. He's marginally down in the first sector as he comes through turn number 7, and there's nothing to do but put your foot to the floor as Dylan has left the session. Heartbreak for Dylan, but he has got time to get back in the lobby, and he is in the pits, so he's got a few minutes, so he can get back in the lobby and then get out and do one more flying lap. So Dylan does have time. Dan marginally up now in the middle sector. It's not quite enough to get him pole position so far, but if he can string up the final sector, he's definitely on for it. He needs to find around about 200ths of a second in this final sector, and no, he's backed out. He's coming to the pits. Last minute call there from Dan. Powdy just finished a lap, I believe. Atlas Copos just finished a lap. I believe everyone has kind of cooled down. Legend is on a lap, and he's a 10th, well, nearly 2 tenths up in the first sector. So we'll stay on board with Legend here. Let's see if he can get himself any higher up the order. Currently 6 drivers in the 1 minute 30s, and that is Yaham, Dylan, Dan, Real Powdy, Jelle Gleeson and Atlas Cope. The 31s or 32s. Let's see what Legend is going to do here, because he definitely needs to get himself up the order. He's got his teammate ahead of him, a bit of a toe to the line. Legend now, what's this going to be for the man in the Alpine, and he improves by 2.5 tenths, doesn't get himself into the top 10 though. So Legend struggling out there. Roygaard, obviously his teammate, getting out the way of his teammate. He's down there in 14th place. Maximum Attack is on Maximum Attack right now, 9 seconds up in the middle sector. Obviously the 1:55, not representative time from Maximum Attack, but can he get himself any further up the grid? Oh, as he loses it, coming up the penultimate corner, just the back end giving up on him as he was about to come into the final corner, and that is an adventurous angle in towards the pit lane from Maximum Attack. That is not entirely legal from Maximum Attack to come into the pit lane like that, so that could be again looked at by the stewards. Ivan Tonsuk in 16th place coming into the pits, and Now we wait to see who is on a flying lap. We got Jamie, who I believe is on an out lap and will be the first one to start. In fact, no, it won't. It will be Yaham, who's peeled off into the pits. As does Jamie. I think Charlie is saying go ahead, Ronnie. And Ronnie does go ahead indeed. Two minutes to go here in qualifying. It is Yaham out on top here so far with a 30.5. Just over 200ths of a second between him and Dylan McGivern in second place. The top three separated by just over 300ths of a second. That is incredibly close at the top. We're going to go on board with Ronnie, who is currently down in P12. Breaks down in towards turn number 1. Needs to find a good amount of time in this first sector if possible, and you can gain quite a bit in this first sector as long as you get your lines right. And Ronnie right now is looking safe, but it's looking decent, and he is up on his time. It's going to be enough to get him up ahead of Legend. He does need to improve by quite a bit more if he wants to get himself up there into the mixers. We've got a Haas who's off up ahead. He's on an out lap though, so not a timed lap. Ronnie now comes through the chicane door, and he has a bit of traffic up ahead of him to contend with, and he's lost his sign. But let's go on board with Charlie, because Charlie has invalidated. So Charlie, unfortunately, it's not looking good for the Mercedes, as Yellow Gleason, they're taking a interesting line, and I believe this is to help Dylan get pole position, as he's going to give him the tow. But unfortunately, Gleason didn't do that as well as he probably could have. But Dylan is a 10th up in the first sector. The checker flag is out. Yaham, obviously not on a lap, so he's not going to be improving. As Dylan in the middle sector, he's 2.5 tenths up. Dylan on for a absolute cracker. We're going board with Dan, who's closer to the line though. Is Dan going to be able to put a benchmark down for Dylan to beat for the final corner now? Is Dan to the line? He'll come. What's it going to be? It's going to be a 30.3, and that is a benchmark. But Dylan is on course to beat it. Has he got enough time in this final sector? To the line goes Dylan, and he will cross it. Is it going to be provisional pole? Is it going to be pole position? Yes, it is. By just under 400ths of a second. Dylan McGivern takes pole position. Yellow Gleason's not going to be improving on his lap time. We got Ronnie, who's finished. Obviously, Preb is down on his lap. Ivan Tomsik down on his lap. We got Siege. Now, what can Siege do? The only lap in qualifying that Siege has done. He's left it to the last minute. He is the last man. DRS wide open. What's this going to be for the Mercedes? And he's going to go up into P9. So we wait for Ivan Tomsik now. Come into the pits, retire from the session, and that is the grid here for round number 5. It is Dylan McGivern who takes pole position with a 1:30.3, just under 0.04 of a second ahead of Dan. The championship leader Jelle Gleeson down in 6th place with a 30.8. Well, unfortunate for Jelle Gleeson down there. Both of his his championship rival in Dan up on the front row. Good thing for Jelle Gleeson is that his teammate is up ahead. As we turn our attention to the chat, we got Jamie in the chat saying yo, Yaham saying yo, Charlie saying what's up, and Jamie saying best track of the season, gotta make it last. That you do. But let's have a look at the final positions here in qualifying. It is Dylan McGivern who takes pole position, just under 0.04 of a second separating him and second place man Dan in P2. That is the front row with Yaham and Powdy, a all McLaren second row there, showing their pace here at France. Evil Chris in 5th, Jelle Gleeson in 6th, Atlas Copo in 7th, Ghost in 8th, Siege in 9th, and his teammate Charlie rounding out the top 10, so an all Mercedes 5th row. Then we got Jamie in 11th, Cygate, Legend, Ronnie, Preb, Roygard, Grey Elmo, Ivan Tonsek, Di Miles, and Maximum Attack, who rounds out the back of the grid. Right, well, the question is, will we see conditions similar to last night's race in F1? It's not going to be similar off the start. Of course, in F1 it did start out in the intermediate conditions. Of course, we could see rain here. It's not out the realms of possibility, but as it currently stands, it is dry, blue skies out on track. Remember guys, if you are new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button, hit that like button as we go to those 5 red lights. Lights are out and we are underway, and Dylan gets a fantastic second phase of the start. Yaham there getting alongside, and Powdy also getting ahead of Dan into turn 1. They're 3 wide into turn 1. Oh, and Dan's around, and so is Powdy. You could see that happening from a mile away. Yaham down into 5th. Jamie's had a fantastic start. Siege up into 4th place already. So Siege having a cracking time as Ghost and Jamie there side by side battling out through the first sector, and Ghost gets ahead of Jamie. Charlie holds position off the start. In fact, let's have a look at the tyre compound to see what tyres everyone's got on. Maximum Attack, Siege, and Evil Chris. Evil Chris, where did he come from? Evil Chris up in second place. Hang on, let's have a little look here and see positions gained. Evil Chris up 3 spots, so he was a bit higher than what I anticipated. So I do have to apologise for that. I did think he was a bit lower than that. But Siege has been the man with the best start here so far, up into P4. On those mediums on the back of Jelle Gleeson, and you'd think those mediums at this point will definitely allow him to make the overtake. Jelle Gleeson already outside that 1 second window of Evil Chris, who's on the back of Dylan McGivern. As Yaham in 5th place. Looks to be going well. Jamie in 6th has managed to get back past Ghost to reclaim P6, and of course you've got Charlie, who is trying to get his way up the order, and I believe that is Dan in the background who has lost it for a second time. Obviously Ronnie in the pits, he's chucking on a set of the Yellow Wall medium tyres, as we got Maximum Attack and Di Miles side by side. Oh, it's a bit too much for my liking between these two. Bit too much contact there as Maximum Attack down the inside, and I believe that's Atlas Copo who's lost it. Yes, he has, and he's around. And Powdy now on the back of Di Miles, who just picked himself up a 3 second time penalty. He's going to try and come back here at Maximum Attack around the outside of the chicane. No, as we move up now to Charlie and the Legend. Now this is a battle as we go in towards turn number 10. Legend on the inside, Charlie on the outside. Is he going to have the speed to hang it all the way around the outside? Oh, he's still there. Charlie, is he going to be able to pull this off? Oh, he just gets squeezed out on the exit. Charlie has to settle down for P9 for the time being. Bowdy managed to get through on Di Miles in the end. Maximum Attack able to fend off the Alfa Romeo, but Maximum Attack, he has a big gap ahead of him that he needs to close up. Jamie has lost touch with the top 5 slightly, and with DRS enabled this lap, he needs to get within that 1 second ASAP, because he cannot be outside of DRS at this track. And he's losing time in the first sector, and this is not good for Jamie. The DRS for the top 5 will just drag him further and further away. Let's go on board with Dylan McGivern, who has been overtaken by Evil Chris. So that is an overtake that we have not seen, which is unfortunate. And Evil Chris on those medium tyres looking to pull away. But DRS will bring Dylan all the way back into it. As Ghost and Jamie got very close to Legends in the mix as well. But it looks like Ghost, fantastic exit out of the chicane. No, is he going to have a little luck? No, he's not. If he used a bit of battery, he probably could have gone for a move on Jamie there, but decides against it as Jamie takes a wide line, Ghost takes a tight line, and he is going to hug his way to the inside, and Ghost unable to pull that off, but now he goes wide, looks for a switchback, get the better run out of the corner, which he does do, but Jamie uses a bit of battery, I think, and able to maintain that position. But these guys battling is drifting them further and further away from that top 5. And speaking of top 5, Yaham has dropped outside of DRS, and he understands the importance of needing to get back into it. He's using a bit of battery now to get himself back into it, and he successfully does, as Ghost again putting Jamie under pressure. And look at the train these guys are causing by here, all the way down to Sygate in 11th place, as Charlie almost went to the back of Legend there. So we'll stick on board. I think Jamie could be a sitting duck here on the DRS straight as Maximum Attack gets through on Ivan Tontic down in P14. And let's see, because here comes Ghost with DRS, and he's going to move to the inside. Will anyone follow suit? Ghost gets through, and he is up into P6, but now all eyes on the cars behind as Legend and Charlie are looking to pounce on Jamie here. No moves yet, no adventurous lunges. Up at the front, the top 4 bunched up, very nice, and Yaham's just there. He's just lingering around. Oh, yellow flag. Who has lost it? I believe that is... Was that Di Miles who lost it? I believe it could have been. As we got another yellow flag in Sector 1. Siege at the moment unable to find his way through the Williams up ahead of him of Jelle Gleeson, the championship leader. And he does need to get this move done on those medium tyres, because he does need the track position. He needs to be where Evil Chris is to try and pull away from these guys. If it was the 2 mediumers at the front able to switch DRS back and forth towards each other, it'd be a good chance for them to pull away, but unfortunately it is not to be. Charlie now trying to look for a move on Legend for P8, moves to the inside. Oh, he's going to try and hang it in there, but Legend holds on to position, but Charlie now on the exit of the chicane north Is he going to draw alongside him into turn 10? No, he's not. He's going to think better of it. What about Jamie up ahead? He's all over the back of Ghost. Lazaruk down the inside. Is he going to be able to pull this off? It would be an audacious move, but no, he doesn't. Meanwhile, in behind, Charlie still stuck behind Legend, but you can see that red light flashing on the back of that Alpine, which means ERS has been depleted. Charlie has the advantage. As we've got a maximum attack who has gone around in the back. Dan is making his way up the order, as is Real Powdy. Powdy up into 14th now, Dan up into 16th. And they have a long way to go. Meanwhile, back up towards the top end, Dylan McGivern. He's close to the back of Evil Chris now. With DRS, he should be able to breeze straight past. And about 25% more battery in the tank. And here goes Dylan, using his ERS, possibly using a bit too much of his ERS to be perfectly honest, but he is going to draw through, draw past and into P6. Meanwhile, Yaham making the move on Siege in behind, so Yaham trying to get his way up the order, as that is Powdy getting through on Great Elmo. We had Atlas Copo getting through on someone, as I believe someone went for a spin in the back. Possibly could have been Maximum Attack going for another spin, or Ivan Tontek, but someone went for a spin. And look at this, Ghost on the inside of Jamie into turn 11, unable to pull it off now, but Ghost looking for a switch back once again, trying to get the better exit. He does get the better exit. He's going to draw alongside the Ferrari. He's down the inside into the penultimate corner. Is he going to be left a room on the inside? And oh, he's going to have to go for an audacious move around the outside, but he's unable to get it done. Oh no, he has got it done. Fantastic stuff from Ghost there, getting through on Jamie. Jamie trying to come back at him in towards turn number 1. Here goes Charlie around the outside. Charlie looking for the double overtake, and he makes it work. Charlie up 2 spots now into P6, getting the job done on both Ghost and Jamie. And Legend now also going to be looking to take advantage of this. Legend now down the inside of Jamie in towards turn number 3, and he gets the job done. Now Charlie will be under pressure here from Ghost with that DRS, but we shall see if he is going to be able to get done. Meanwhile, Yaham looking at the back of Yellow Gleason, but didn't go for it. And oh my god, that's Dylan. That's Dylan. Dylan has lost it again. Didn't look close enough for any contact to happen, but fortunately for Dylan, there's enough of a gap in behind that he can rejoin in 5th place and not lose massively. Yellow Gleason now to the inside. Oh my god, I thought Siege, I thought Evil Chris then literally turned in and took Yellow Gleason out, but the Gleason holds on to P2. Thankfully for him, Charlie's still there in P6 ahead of Ghost. Yaham and Siege trading spots, so Siege now up into P3, Yaham down into 4th place. 9 miles with a 3-second time penalty, as we are on lap 7 of 27 is flown by so far. We got this epic train from P6 all the way down to P11. Sygate on the back of this train, looking for any way to climb up the order. Jamie was at the head of this train, now smack bang in the middle of it, and he needs to try and get himself recomposed, getting back into it, because Charlie now at the front of it. He's going to be trying to pull away Ghost, going to do everything he can to hold on. Legend, he has no ERS to his name, so he does need to save a bit of battery, so the train staying out is what he needs, as Dylan is doing everything he can to get back within DRS of Yaham here. He's 1.3 behind, but this of course all changes. Yellow Gleason makes the overtake there for the race lead ahead of Evil Chris. Evil Chris will look for the better exit now to try and come back at him, as Sygate and Roygard there swap positions for P10 and P11. So Sygate now making some overtakes happen and getting himself up the order, but they have lost touch with the guys up ahead of them. 1.4 is the gap between the two of them, and it looks like Looks like Rygaard might be trying to come back at Seagate, but he's going to stick in behind. Meanwhile, Legend, oh, he's found a bit of room. He's sending it on the inside. Can Legend make this work? He's going to try and do what Ghost did to Jamie a few laps ago, but he's actually just going to hang it all the way around the outside, which will turn to the inside for 13, and it'll be the outside for 14, and he's going to swoop it all the way around the outside. Is he going to be able to make this work? It's for the inside out the final corner. Ghost with the better exit, and he's going to be able to draw alongside, and is he going to have the speed? He's going to have the DRS, and they're going to be wheel to wheel coming down in towards turn 1. Neither have the ERS, but the DRS has come through for Ghost, and he is now up ahead of Legend. What a battle between those two. Fantastic stuff. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what we like to see on a Friday night. Great battling between the likes of Ghost and Legend. Fantastic stuff. And if that's not worth a like, I don't know what is. Jamie there, he is lingering, and Seagate, he's trying to get back within that 1 second. He just popped in for a moment, but look at this. Legend back through on Ghost with DRS, and he's down the inside in towards the chicane door. And he gets the move done. Fantastic battling going on between these three drivers. Of course, what's happened now, Charlie has broken away, and he's 2 seconds up ahead now. So Charlie is breaking away and going to be looking to try and get himself up the order. Meanwhile, the battling in behind is starting to get a little bit spicy. Legend, Ghost and Jamie in a fantastic three-way scrap, and Seagate is now borderline in that DRS zone. As long as he can have a good final 2 corners here, he's in it. And this is good for Seagate. So he has dropped Rygaard out of that 1 second. He's under pressure now from Powdy. So Powdy, who had that incident at the start of the race, is slowly coming back into it, as he is going to overtake Rygaard. Up into P11 goes the real Powdy, and now he can start to try and close in on the train ahead of him, and the battling of what's going on. Meanwhile, Evil Chris, it looks like the medium tyres might be starting to drop off slightly, as Yellow Gleason has broken away out of DRS of Evil Chris. Seagate, Seagate Siege in third. He's under pressure from Yarham, who's going to look to the inside. Oh, he's going to outbrake the Mercedes. Down the inside goes Yarham, and up into the final podium position goes the McLaren. Is that going to open things up for Dylan? Dylan has done well to get himself back into this fight, and he's going to use his ERS to draw alongside Siege in towards turn number 10. Is he going to be able to pull this off? Yes, he is. And is Siege going to be able to come back at him, as we got a retiree in the pit lane? That is Di Miles. As, oh my, Yarham, where are you going, mate? Yarham there just decided that he wanted to go and travel to Spain. There, I don't know what happened with Yarham. Looked like the car just completely went from him, and he's now down into 5th place. So Yarham dropping 2 spots there to Dylan and Siege, as Evil Chris is into the pits, and he could tell that his tyres were dropping off, and this will be interesting to see where he comes out relative to everyone else, as Yellow Gleason sets the fastest lap of the race. As you got Darren Miles' AI car coming out of the pits now. Oh my god, thank god for the ghosting system there. Charlie driving straight through, but Charlie is getting caught by Legend, and Legend gets off-put by it. Off-put by the ghost car of Di Miles through turns 2, and that's going to put him under pressure now from Ghost, who is once again all over the back of him, and you got to think an overtake is coming here. Meanwhile, you think Yarham has the DRS, and he should close up enough, but I don't think he's going to be close enough to make a move. Let's go to this battle. Ghost on his ERS on DRS, and I don't think it's enough. He's a bit too far back, is Ghost. Yarham now on ERS down the inside of turn number 10 on Siege. Gets back through and up into the final podium position. So Siege losing out there. Those medium tyres are definitely starting to go off. Evil Chris has made his pit stop. He is down in 16th place, but he is also going to the end now. But he has picked himself up a penalty. so that could come back and bite them later on in the race. Of course, the guys on the hards right now will be on a set of the mediums later into this race, but Siege now into the pits as well. So it releases Yaham. 1.4 seconds is the gap. 1.68 seconds is the gap between Dylan and Yellow Gleason. 1.7 now. So we'll focus on this battle as Ghost is all over the back of Legend. Siege staying out that extra lap. That's cost him a bit of time. He's now 2.7 seconds, 2.8 seconds behind Evil Chris now, as Legend there. A little bit of weaving, trying to cut off the slipstream from Ghost. All's fair in love and war, but Legend able to maintain that P5 for the time being. Powdy on the back of this train now, and Powdy definitely is going to be looking to try and carve his way through this train as quickly as possible. Meanwhile, we do have Jamie here sitting on 56% ERS. As long as he can stay close to the first sector, because Ghost appears to be quicker than Legend in the first sector. If he can stick close with Ghost in the first sector, he could potentially get a double overtake done into the chicane north. But is he going to use a bit of battery now? Sidegate peels off into the pits. A very early pit stop there for the hard compound tyres. As Jamie not close enough, I don't believe. As Dylan and Yaham, I think, are both respectfully closing in on Yellow Gleason, so it looks like those two may just have the raw pace on Yellow Gleason up ahead. Jamie needs to use a bit of battery now, and he is using a bit of battery. DRS is wide open, he doesn't want to use it all though. Just needs to use enough, getting close to Ghost. Use a little bit on the exit by here, and he should have Ghost into turn number 10. Is he going to have a little luck though? Doesn't get the exit that he needs. But he is closing in rapidly, and there's an opportunity there, and he's actually had a little peek and he's gone for it down the inside in towards turn number 11. Jamie on Ghost. As Ghost is going to try and force him all the way around the outside. Jamie says, thank you, I'll go all the way around the outside and I'll try to make this move stick. And he is around the outside. And if he can hang it around here within that speed, as I believe we just saw Legend peel off into the pits. Oh no, that was Powdy peeling off into the pits. Jamie using ERS to get himself ahead of Ghost. They're 1.2 now behind Legend, so let's see if Jamie can close up to the back of Legend in the rest of this first sector, because if he can, then we got an interesting fight going on, because Jamie has the ERS. But Ghost will have DRS, and the DRS could very well come into play here, as I don't think Jamie is going to use anything up down this back straight, but he should just naturally close up with the fact that he does have a bit more in terms of the battery. But Legend is using to try and keep Jamie out of it, but Jamie just has more battery, so Legend's ERS is not going to help him out too much. Even if he is on overtake, he's just going to get closed in. As now Jamie, he's just outside that 1 second window, as Dylan and Yaham both peel off into the pits. Will we see anyone else peel off into the pits? Well, Jamie and Legend does, and Ghost stays out. Yellow Gleason stays out as well. So a set in the medium compound tyres is going on. Yaham, oh, I thought he was going to get the jump on Dylan there in the pit lane. That would have been something special, but Dan goes up ahead of these two now. Of course, Dan, who unfortunately had the incident at the start, but Evil Chris is behind both of them. And Great Elmo has come out in the middle of Yaham and Dylan, so this is not good for Yaham. He will have DRS to quickly overtake the Haas driver, but he needs to be on the back of Dylan. He cannot allow Dylan to get away from him. As here goes Yaham, DRS wide open, and he's just going to pull through. Will Great Elmo just jump out the way of his teammate? Oh, he's not. He's in the way. Evil Chris is going to have to force his way past his teammate with ERS, and Great Elmo there, that's off the throttle on the run in towards turn number 10, but that was a bit more than what Evil Chris would have wanted. As we got Yellow Gleason into the pits, we got Ghost into the pits, Dan there not taking the correct line into the pits, and Preb, I don't know where he's gone, but he's also coming into the pits as well, taking the adventurous line in was Preb. So Dylan, where's he going to come out relative to his teammate? There is Yellow Gleason up ahead. The gap 0.8 of a second. And Yaham needs to do something here in this first sector if he wants to close up. He has broken away from Evil Chris, but both of the Williams appear in. It's a 1-2 right now. Obviously Dylan with the warmer tyres. How much will Yellow Gleason fight this? I don't think he's going to fight it too much, but Dylan is going to overtake easily. In fact, Yellow Gleason was on ERS and he was trying to fight it. Yellow Gleason wants this race win ahead of his teammate, and that has allowed Yaham to close in. Yaham floating around that 1 second window. These two need to work together, the Williams pair in, if they want to break away from Yaham. It definitely looks like out of the two of them, Dylan is the quicker of the two Williams as it currently stands. Yaham, he's doing everything to try and stay in DRS, but he's just outside it. And without DRS, he doesn't have much of a chance of closing in on these two up ahead of him. But he does get a nice run out of the final corner. So Dylan with the new fastest lap is a 1:33.4 from Dylan McGivern, and he's on course to try and take maximum points here tonight. But will his teammate Yellow Gleason spoil Dylan's party? Will we see the Williams civil war break out here in France? As Yellow Gleason's not really putting Dylan under pressure, but a little mistake there from Yellow Gleason, and he has opened the door slightly for Yaham to get close once again, but Yaham just can't get through. Meanwhile, Siege moving up the way of Charlie, and Charlie now going through up into P5, going to chase after Evil Chris. Was of course 3.5 seconds off the back of Yaham now. Powdy on his recovery drive up into P7, and got Dan, who's not too far away from trying to get himself into the top 10. Obviously you got Cygate on the back of Ghost here, and that is the battle for top 10. Dan 3.7 seconds off it. Legend on the back of Powdy. Jamie is a little bit off now, so unfortunate for Jamie, the pit stop phases have done him in. Meanwhile, Yaham, oh, this is exactly what you need for a first sector. All he needs is a good turn 3, a good turn 4, and a good turn 5, and he could be on for it. Yeah, oh no, Yaham picks up a penalty and gets a little bit too much on that inside curb, and now we'll see the race lead change surely, because in fact Gleason's not even going to use his DRS, so Yellow Gleason happy to sit behind his teammate for the time being. Meanwhile, Charlie and Siege, Linus Stern in 5th and 6th, dragging each other along. Powdy 4.3 seconds behind those two. He has Legend for company. And of course we got this battle between Ghost and Cygate. 1.3 seconds up ahead of them is Jamie. And of course you got Dan closing in as well. So these lot are going to start to bunch up pretty soon, I can tell you that for a fact. And we saw the battling earlier on with Jamie, Ghost and Legend, and that's going to be an interesting battle now when you add Cygate and potentially Dan into the frame as well. Lap 18 of 27, Dylan McGivern out in the lead, Yellow Gleason in 2nd, Yaham in 3rd, Evil Chris in 4th place, Charlie in 5th, with Siege hanging on to the back of his teammate in 6th place. Once again, I don't think Yellow Gleason is going to go for a move. I think he's just going to use DRS just to close up a bit. Meanwhile, Charlie not too far off the back of Evil Chris here, so Evil Chris going to be under pressure soon. And the question is, what is Charlie's pace compared to the top 3? Has Charlie got the pace to bring himself in a potential podium fight? The thing is, you got Siege, he's not too far off the back, and right now Siege is going to jump both Evil Chris and Charlie and get himself up into 4th. If Siege can keep with his teammate and Charlie has the pace to close in on Yaham, it's going to be incredibly interesting to see if Siege is going to be able to jump up to a podium position. So it's still quite a lot to fight for. Meanwhile, we got the battle for P9 as Ghost and Jamie once again do battle, and here goes Ghost now to the outside of turn number 1, but he's not going to go for it. He's going to back out smart there from Ghost. Meanwhile, up ahead, Legend and Powdy having a little bit of a scrap themselves. Legend there getting all out of shape through turn number 3. Charlie on the back of Evil Chris on the ERS, opens DRS. He's going to try and get past the Haas car immediately and try and close in on the guys up ahead of him, and he swoops through up in the P4, Ghost, Charlie, and now he can see what his pace is like relative to the top 3. 5.2 is the gap. Legend gets through on Powdy, Ghost gets through on Jamie. Jamie's trying to try and outbreak and keeps that position, sends it around the outside, and he gets onto the curb, so that's going to allow Ghost to come back at him. An absolute cracking battle going on between these two as they run up in towards turn number 10. Ghost on the inside, Jamie on the outside. Ghost, is he going to be able to stick it in? No, Jamie's going to be able to swoop it around the outside, but here comes Ghost back down the inside into turn number 11. The space was there, thank you very much, and he'll try and take that position, but once again Jamie fighting back. He got Cygate in the mix now, and Dan is on the back of this as well. So here we go. As I said earlier, it is kicking off. These guys are closing in on each other. We have Ivan Tonsek who's around at the start of the middle sector through turn number 7, and oh, here we go, Ghost on the back of Jamie once again. He's going to look to the inside of turn number 1 this time. Just going to put Jamie under pressure. He's not really looking for a move, but that's going to allow Sygate to get a decent run, as those two are getting very close. Jamie on the inside, Ghost on the outside. I think Jamie doesn't want to fight it too much, and that could be a little bit of wing that's just gone off, as Dan is down the inside of Sygate there. Fantastic move there from Dan, and now he's on the back of Jamie, and Dan with 73% ERS. Is he going to start to use it? He is going to start to use it, and he is going to see what's going to happen, as here comes Jamie down the inside of Ghost. Uses a lot of battery to get it done, but he's down the inside and back up into P9. Meanwhile, at the top, Yelagison and Dylan still line astern, and will Ghost come back at Jamie? He's all over the rear wing of him. Dan is there as well. He has the ERS, does Dan. And is he going to have a look at it? He's to the inside of turn number 11, and here goes Dan down the inside of Ghost. Is he going to be able to pull this off? Will Ghost have the pace around the outside? No, he will not. Dan through and up into P10. Now his next target it's Jamie. As Ghost picks up a 3-second time penalty, and that is heartbreaking for Ghost, as Dan needs to pick this moment perfect, as he is using a bit of battery. He's going to swoop past Jamie here and up into P9. In fact, no, Jamie's actually close enough to potentially put Moroccan under pressure in towards turn 1, but unable to do so. As Ghost has lost it on the inside curve at turn 2, and around goes the Red Bull. Meanwhile, up ahead we got Yellow Gleason all over the back of Dylan, and that's allowed Yaham to get into it. Ladies and gentlemen, Dylan has picked up a 3-second time penalty. This is big. This is now big. Look at this. We got the top 3, 6 temps separating the top 3. This is what we like to see. The battle is now commencing between Dylan, Yelagison and Yaham for this race victory. Yelagison the only one without a penalty so far, but it's very easy to pick one up here, especially if you're battling. But is he going to be willing to battle his teammate? Oh, Yaham with a big mistake there, a big snap, and he has lost out massively on Yelagison, as he now drops once again outside of DRS range. Meanwhile, you do have Charlie, who is closing in marginally, but he's not closing in enough, as Dylan does still maintain the race lead. And Yelagison right now will be very happy with this, because he can just sit in behind his teammate and know he's going to jump him on penalties. Meanwhile, Powdy and Legend still scrapping out for P7 here. Siege, of course, is a bit too far back, and Evil Chris is doing well to keep with Charlie here for P4, which is important for him. As we've got Jamie doing his best to stick with Dan. Of course, Sygate, as he's on the cheating edge of dropping out. Atlas Copo now coming into it as well. He's almost within that 1 second window as well. So as Jamie takes a very wide line there through turn number 6, and he's lost out massively. And now Sygate is going to put Jamie under pressure. Sygate to the inside, as he is going to swoop through and up into P10 goes Sygate, and I believe that's Ghost who's gone around, but Jamie fights back on Sygate and is able to maintain that position. But here comes Sygate once again on his ERS, closing in on Jamie, moves to the inside for turn number 10. I don't think he's got enough speed to get this done, as Ghost all the way down into 17th, and it's a heartbreaking result for Ghost. 72 UK there. It was looking so good. He was involved in such an epic scrap early on in the race, and fantastic racing that we saw from Ghost, but one mistake and it's all gone pear-shaped for the Red Bull driver. as Jamie's into the pits and he gets a 5-second time penalty. Oh, that is not good for Jamie, and I think he's questioning whether his tyres will get to the end. Well, Jamie and Ghost are both into the pits. Ghost is retired from the session. Obviously, he's done for the session, done for this evening. Just that one mistake on turn 2 has absolutely sent him off. But absolute cracking battles from Ghost. He's got nothing to be ashamed of in terms of the battling that he showed out there tonight. Very good battling. Unfortunate for Ghost though, as we got Atlas Copo getting through on Sygate. So Atlas Copo now up into the top 10 ahead of Sygate. Sygate doesn't have the ERS to really challenge Atlas Copo, so we'll have to wait and see. Of course, lap 24, we're about to come on to lap 25 of 27, so now it is too late for a safety car to be deployed, which I think Dylan and Johan will be very happy with. Obviously not being able to see who has time penalties in behind, and knowing that the 4 drivers behind Evo Chris all have time penalty, all do not have time penalties, so they're going to be happy about no safety cars here tonight. Jelle Gleeson, is he going to actually attack his teammate? Because Johan is there, and Johan will attack Jelle Gleeson. We have 2.5 laps to go. Evo Chris with a 3-second time penalty, and I believe that's the second one. So now Evo Chris under threat from Siege. Well, he's going to get jumped by Siege, but now Legend and Powdy with a possibility of 6th place on their hands. As Charlie looks to be a little bit in no man's land right now. He only has Evo Chris to accompany him as Powdy and Legend side by side in towards turn number 11. Powdy to the inside, yes, the move done, and fantastic there from Powdy. Well, I'll tell you what, Jelle Gleeson is dropping away from his teammate. He's using a bit of ERS to try and close back up. Jelle Gleeson needs to make sure that he's not too far away from Dylan, because Dylan potentially could still win this race if Johan battles Jelle Gleeson enough that it drops Jelle Gleeson out that 3-second window. As we are on the penultimate lap of the race. Provisionally, it is going to be Jelle Gleeson who will take the victory, of course, with no penalties to his name. But who is going to be the... Oh, Johan with a 3-second time penalty, and that's it. That has sealed the 1-2 for a Williams here tonight, as unless Jelle Gleeson picks up a penalty, it's going to be Jelle Gleeson on the top step of the podium with Dylan alongside him. As we're about to get underway for the final lap of the race, and Charlie with a 3-second time penalty. So now it's all to play for between these two for P4. And of course you've got Siege in this as well. Siege 5.2 seconds back. Okay, the battle for 4th is on. Johan, I think, has accepted his fate as he has dropped massively. So a mistake there from Johan. Evo Chris, is he going to be close enough to make a move? Not with the first 2 corners like that, he's not. This is going to be interesting. Charlie and Evil Chris. Who is going to come out on top? I think now Yellow Gleason will go for the overtake on his teammate. Yellow Gleason now up into the race lead on the final lap. It was never in doubt that Williams was going to take a victory here. Yaham just had one too many back end snaps, just one too many mistakes in him here tonight to really put him under pressure. But he was there on pace, let's not forget. Without those mistakes from Yaham, definitely could have been a lot spicier. As Evil Chris is dropping away from Charlie, and Charlie I think has a 6-second gap to Siege. Oh, it's going to be close as Yellow Gleason through the penultimate corner. And now into the final corner for the final time here for round number 5 at the Circuit Paul Ricard for the French Grand Prix. It is Yellow Gleason who takes victory here tonight. The championship leader extends his lead. His teammate alongside of him is a 1-2 for the Williams pairing. Yaham in third. Charlie will cross the line in fourth, but will he keep it as Evil Chris is going to drop down behind Siege? Surely, yes he does, but Charlie maintains ahead. In fact, Evil Chris drops down behind Legend. So Powdy up in the 6th, Legend up in the 7th, Evil Chris down into 8th, Dan recovery drive into 9th, Atlas Copo will cross the line in 10th, will he keep it though? His teammate in 11th, I think he's got just enough to keep his teammate out of it. Yes he does. Maximum Attack will drop behind Great Elmo. But here's the question, does Great Elmo jump up ahead of Preb? That is the question, as Maximum Attack crosses the line will drop behind Great Elmo, and Great Elmo gets up into 12th place. Jamie in 14th. The pit stop and the 5-second time penalty really kept you. I'm not sure if he dropped behind Roygaard there. Siege with the driver of the day, voted by the in-game fans, and obviously he had a fantastic drive. I can't lie, in terms of the action, I do kind of want to give it to Legend, because he had some fantastic scraps, not only with Ghost, but he also had a good scrap with Jamie as well. So I kind of want to give it to Legend personally, but it is that man out on top. Yellow Gleason extending his championship lead once again, as I believe we go into a break week now. So for round number 5 we go into the break week, and that means no racing next week at all on the League Racing TV channel. Yes, it is a break week next week, and then of course we come back the following week in a fortnight's time for round number 6 at the Dutch Grand Prix at Zandvoort. But that man, top 7 of the podium, a 1-2 for Williams, a McLaren on the podium as well. Maximum points for the Williams team. It is Yellow Gleason who takes victory ahead of Dylan McGivern in 2nd place, Yaham in 3rd, Charlie in 4th, Siege in 5th, Real Powdy in 6th, Legend in 7th, 8th goes to Evil Chris, 9th goes to Dan, Atlas Copo rounding out the top 10. Then of course we had Preb in 11th, Great Elmo in 12th, Maximum Attack in 13th, Jamie in 14th, Sygate in 15th, Roygaard in 16th, Ronnie in 17th. We had Ivan Tonsik in 18th. Then we had our 2 non-finishers in Go72 UK and Di Miles in 19th and 20th. So that brings an end to round number 5 here at the French Grand Prix. And honestly, a fantastic race, and congratulations to Yellow Gleason on a superb win. And that is what happens when you don't pick up time penalties, ladies and gentlemen. When you don't pick up the time penalties, you can win races and you can climb up positions very easy. Of course, that is going to bring an end to the racing tonight and an end to the stream. So hopefully you all enjoyed the action out on track. I have, of course, been Ivor Bryn Mike. We will be back in a fortnight's time for round number 6 at the Dutch Grand Prix. But until then, guys, good night and goodbye.